Thank you, everybody. Here joined by Parl from Nuvia Smile. Parl, thank you so much for talking to us today. Maybe to start, can you give us a little bit of insight on what Nuvia Smile does and what Zoho products you're using?
Nuvia Smiles is one of the top dental implant companies in the country. We have over 45 locations and growing across the country. And it kind of prides itself. It's really good at providing services in a timely fashion, so it's not a miserable experience. Mm-hmm. So their mantra is like implants in 24 hours. So you don't have this long drawn out process of getting dental implants. And they specialize in half or full mouth implants. And so they really bring a lot of smiles to people, and that's their focus. It's pretty cool, actually.
Awesome.
Done to change lives. So and as they've grown, they obviously found the need to start figuring out how to manage their growth and understand what their growth means, because most of these locations were fairly autonomous, using their own software products internally with some scattered administrative central products that were chosen for whatever reason, usually just the preference of the users at the end of the day. So they realized quickly that they better pick a tool. So they had to choose between Salesforce and Zoho. Didn't have to, but that was kind of the two they were looking at. And they went with Zoho because it seemed like it was going to be a lot more cost effective and do the things that they needed to do, because Salesforce can get pretty giant and pretty expensive pretty quick. I was hired just after they selected it to help onboard the whole Zoho experience. And I came from the Salesforce world, which for me tends to be a little more developer friendly than Zoho is. But I totally understood the decision, and it was a smart one, because Zoho will do what it needs to do, even though it's not as developer friendly as Salesforce might be. So I was happy to kind of help in that process. So I've been tasked with that since I came on just a little over a year ago.
Awesome.
Tell us about how that implementation went, how you started with Zoho. What was that like?
It was a rough start, because Zoho obviously has a very wide spectrum of possibilities. Fortunately, we kind of went in with some low-hanging fruit that they really wanted right out of the gate. So it gave us an opportunity to have some big wins. The first of which was obviously centralized data. Like, they needed to start aggregating information in one place. So Zoho Analytics was a huge win right out of the gate. So that first task was herding all the data cats that were out there, getting the data into Zoho Analytics so they had a central place to analyze it, view it. And that was it. Probably the biggest win so far, honestly, because now they have daily, almost real-time information coming from lots of different sources where they can make good management decisions. Mm-hmm. Second to that was, we were hoping sales. Sales turned into something we needed to sidebar, part for cultural reasons, part for technology reasons. Mm-hmm. Because that's a heavy lift when you're talking about lead gen and this whole sales process. So we sidelined that basically, and then went to operations, which was a lighter lift, if you will, because they were using so many different products anyway. So to centralize some of those operations in the CRM, basically where we did it, some creator product as well. So we got some big wins there. And then the third one was kind of unexpected, which was the collaboration tools, primarily Cliq. So we had 600 or 700 users in Slack at the time. And we're like, well, Cliq. It's like we didn't even look at it until after we were onboarding Zoho. And then we're like, why wouldn't we translate that over and move that over to Cliq? And so that turned into a big win for us. And we have over 2,000 users on Cliq now.
Wow.
So it was interesting because they used Slack for a lot of things. Slack was like the fallback.
Yeah.
So like if I couldn't get it to work in Google Docs, or I didn't have some other app, it's like, well, just tell me the information in Slack.
Yeah.
And so they had all these events coming from their CRM that would tell them about successful experiences or whatever. And some of the managers were even going back and counting the events to get their analytic information from Slack. And so because they were addicted to that process, we needed to mimic it in Cliq. So we quickly figured out how to throw event messages into Cliq and mimic that process so that we could wean them off and get them more into analytics. So that was a fun process. That was a long answer to your question. But
it's a great answer. I think it leads into the next point. When you're moving to a new solution, that transition can have some headaches, particularly around maybe retraining staff to break some old habits or embrace new options. What does that look like for you all?
That was an immediate recognition. Cultural issues are just as much of a battle for us as the technical ones are. And I don't even know that the word battle is the right one. It is what it is. And so we're still dealing with that. We have to keep scooching both forward. I mentioned on one of the panels that when you're herding a lot of cats, trying to accomplish the technical ideals is really hard. So you really just pick off one cat at a time. And that's kind of the way we've approached it. To say, in the beginning, we tried to actually do some things by edict, a little more authoritarian, like, okay, we're going to build this and it's going to replace what you're doing now, and quickly realized what a bad idea that was. And so now it's like collaborate more, stop, have a conversation. What tools in Zoho can work for you? We pick that off and we move on to the next one. And operationally, there's still a lot of work to be done there. And then we still have sales to work with and quite a few other categories. Did that answer your question, I think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. In, again, having this new system, something that was mentioned is that you didn't have to use a lot of customization. Was there an area that you do have to customize a lot? What does that look like? How are you overcoming that?
Yeah, we ran into some customization needs pretty quickly. There were some things that were just retrofit. You can just shove it in, and because it's all modular and all that with the CRM especially. But with a patient life cycle and with HIPAA compliance and how we manage their information, things like that, we realized quickly that just doing the standard things inside of CRM were going to be difficult, if not impossible. So we had to go creep out into Creator and start building some really custom tools there, especially the patient onboarding process. Very customized process where we provide them videos and other things. So it was a multimedia process we send them through. And then they fill out forms, and those forms get signed. And then we need to store those in Work Drive. So all that is all scripted, custom work that's done in Creator. We also had to do some pretty custom stuff for inventory purposes. Inventory out of the box, I would say, is one of Zoho's weaker products, kind of. I mean, it does some generic things for inventory that are fine, but nobody really ever does just the generic things, right? There's always some exceptions. So we had to start building another layer to inventory in Creator that's pushed all that data back to inventory. So.
And what is that experience in Creator like? Is it easy? Did you have to bring in third-party partners?
We do use a partner pretty heavily for it. We're trying to get our in-house resources up to scale so that we don't have to rely on a partner as much. But to get it built out, we're using a partner. We use a co-develop methodology so that our guys are learning from their guys, et cetera. So we have some good partners that are willing to do that. But Creator is a great alternative to the CRM to get you more flexibility and can do more with it. But I still wouldn't call it a developer-friendly environment, right? So they have developer tools, but coming from the developer world, they're not really tools that I'm used to using in the developer world. But it does what it needs to, like I said, and you can script the things that need to be scripted. But as a developer, sometimes the nerdy words are extensible. I want to be able to extend something, or I want it to be object oriented, and they don't really use those terms or those kinds of components inside of any of their applications, actually. But I am biased. I'm the chief nerd, by the way. Of Nucleus.
Yes.
So
That's good.
Anyway, did that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell us about the HIPAA compliance. I know that can be an issue, especially here in the dental industry. How did Zoho help you overcome that compliance?
They are the thing that helped with Zoho was they already built in a really good layer of private information, and they already cater to that quite a bit with their data layer. So that was a really huge benefit. And Cliq as well. Cliq had already accommodated providing the settings and the lockdowns and other features to accommodate HIPAA rules that were difficult or not possible in Slack. So that's helped our transition to Zoho, knowing that they've already taken care of a major part of our HIPAA layer. I mean, they obviously aren't going to take care of things like how my monitor's exposed in a dental practice and those types of things. So we still have a lot of issues to resolve. But on the data level, they take care of a lot of those issues right out of the gate, which has been really nice.
You mentioned at the beginning of our talk value. Value is obviously a word that's really important to customers. It's a word we hear from Zoho. Can we talk a little bit about the value you think you've been able to achieve going with Zoho versus a Salesforce or some of the other competitors out there?
Good question. I guess you come at it from either direction. I think we could have accomplished the same things with Salesforce for a lot larger cost. So there's a value just in the savings right out of the gate. We didn't need as many developer resources to onboard Zoho products. We didn't need a ton of customization that may have been required in Salesforce, et cetera, et cetera. The value beyond that is obviously just starting to centralize and templatize the processes that are in our company, because we do have all these independent locations, but we need them to be following the same processes so our data is true, right? And then we can do more analysis on it. And so that we can improve the patient experience. At the end of the day, we ultimately just want to improve that patient journey.
Yeah.
Right. So the value comes in the more centralization of those processes, and the more that people are using the same processes, the same data, the better the patient experience is becoming. And we haven't spent a ton of time actually trying to put a numerical value on that just yet, but it's palpable, right? Especially from the analytics perspective and those types of things. It's like, it's obvious that it's bringing value. We just haven't put a dollar value on it yet.
It's awesome.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
What other projects are you looking forward to or increasing in Zoho apps in the future?
We'd really like to crack the sales and marketing nut. But again, that's part culture, part technology. And so I'm trying to focus on the technology side, because you're not going to change culture until you can show them that the technology can at least match. But in our case, we want to match and go beyond what they're currently using. So we're hoping to change culture by creating something that is going to sell them well on the idea of it. So the sales and marketing piece we're working heavily on. We still need to finish operations. So there's maybe 30 or 40% of our operations that still need to get integrated. The organic stuff is fun to watch, which you really don't know how that's going to play out. So organically, it's been fun, and it helps prop up Zoho, because we have different teams and departments and things come to us and be like, hey, what's Zoho learning? Can we use it? I'm like, yeah, you can use it. It'll help train your people or do whatever you want with it, hold documentation about processes or whatever you need inside of it. And so we have all these organic opportunities that are coming to us from across the company, which is fun. And we don't want to discourage that at all. And that helps prop up Zoho while we're trying to tackle these bigger components of the company.
Awesome. Well, I think to wrap it up, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to somebody who is looking at Zoho, or maybe they've just signed and they're about to start their implementation? Any pitfalls to avoid? Any things you're really glad you did from the jump?
Good question. A partner is a pretty decent idea right out of the gate, if you're big enough to justify the cost of that. There's plenty of material and things out there to learn Zoho on your own. So based on your size is really a big part of that. That is hard. I kind of know how to answer that better from a developer's perspective than maybe just a business owner's. And so for me, it would be, don't come in with expectations of getting every whistle and bell that you can drum up in your mind. In fact, approaching Zoho is better to approach it from, how can it replace what I do now, instead of what can I build on top of what I do now that's going to improve it. I think that's a bad way to approach it. I think the better way is replace what you have now and then figure out what it can do for you after the fact. Because a lot of people expect too much out of Zoho, I think.
More of a stepped approach.
Right. Yeah. So that seems like the best advice I could give, maybe.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And best of luck as you move forward in your Zoho journey. And hopefully we can talk again this time next year. And you'll have more great stuff to share with us.
It'll be fun. Let's do it. Maybe we can hang out in Heber.
Yeah, we'll get a little skiing going in.
That's right. Let's do it. Nice to meet you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.